Hey Yankees fans, welcome to Yankees Rumors and News, your go-to spot for the latest buzz and updates about our team. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a scoop. If you follow the New York Yankees closely, you already know that every offseason in the Bronx feels like a high-stakes drama. And this one is no different. There is a powerful storyline forming behind the scenes, one that involves leadership, chemistry, money, and the kind of internal pressure that can quietly change the direction of a franchise. At the center of it all is Aaron Judge, the captain of the Yankees, the face of the organization, and a player whose voice carries enormous weight inside that clubhouse. According to reports circulating around the league, Judge is not staying neutral this time. He is actively pushing the Yankees to re-sign Cody Bellinger, and that single detail has the potential to reshape everything about how this free agency unfolds. Judge is not just another superstar on the roster. He is the emotional and competitive engine of this team, and when he speaks, the front office listens, even if they never say it publicly. His chemistry with Bellinger in the outfield has been impossible to ignore, and it goes far beyond defensive positioning or shared highlights on social media. The two stars complement each other in a way that makes the Yankees better on both sides of the ball, and Judge knows it. He sees how Bellinger changes games with one swing, how he tracks balls in the gaps, and how his presence lengthens the lineup in a way that gives opposing pitchers nightmares. When your captain advocates for a teammate like that, it sends a clear message to ownership and management that this is not just a luxury signing, but a competitive necessity. Cody Bellinger put himself in this position by making a bold decision. He executed his player option and chose free agency, rather than playing out the final season of a 3-year deal worth $80 million that he originally signed with the Chicago Cubs. That move only makes sense if you believe in your value, and Bellinger backed it up with his performance in the most recent season. He delivered a standout year at the plate, posting a batting average of .272, an on-base percentage of .334, and a slugging percentage of .480. His on-base plus slugging came in at .814, and he crushed 29 home runs. This was not just a good year, it was a statement season. His best since his early days in Chicago, and a clear rebound from the difficult stretches he endured with the Los Angeles Dodgers during the 2021 and 2020 seasons. That bounce back matters because it changed the narrative around Bellinger's career. Not long ago, he was being labeled as a talented player who might never fully regain his superstar form. Injuries, inconsistencies, and mechanical issues had raised doubts across the league. But baseball has a way of rewarding patience and hard work, and Bellinger's resurgence reminded everyone why he was once considered one of the most dynamic outfielders in the sport. Now, at 30 years old, he finds himself at a crossroads where one big contract could define the rest of his career, and he is understandably holding out for the kind of deal that reflects both his production and his pedigree. The numbers being discussed around the league are massive, even by modern standards. Some estimates suggest Bellinger is seeking a contract worth around $30 million per year. Over 6 years, that kind of commitment would carry him deep into his 30s. And it explains why teams are approaching the situation cautiously. Long-term deals for players already in their 30s are always risky, especially when the memory of recent struggles is still fresh. According to reports from inside the industry, no team has come close to offering Bellinger the figure he wants. And that includes the Yankees, who are reportedly trying to keep their total payroll under $300 million in the 2026 season. This is where the tension really starts to build. The Yankees are not operating with unlimited freedom, even though their brand suggests otherwise. They have other needs to address, including adding more depth to the bullpen and potentially bringing in another starting pitcher, even if manager Aaron Boone has publicly downplayed the urgency of that move. Every dollar allocated to one star limits flexibility elsewhere, and committing to Bellinger on a massive long-term deal would make those other upgrades far more difficult. That reality exists no matter how strongly Judge feels about keeping his teammate in pinstripes. The market for Bellinger is still forming, and several teams have been linked to him as potential suitors. The New York Mets are an obvious name that sparks immediate headlines, simply because of the rivalry and their willingness to spend. However, some insiders have downplayed the threat from Queens, suggesting it may not be as serious as it appears on the surface. Other teams like the Los Angeles Angels have been mentioned, as well as the possibility of a reunion with the Los Angeles Dodgers, the franchise that originally drafted Bellinger back in 2013. Each of those options comes with its own appeal, whether it is familiarity, geography, or opportunity. But none of them carry the same emotional pull as staying in New York with a captain who openly wants him there. From the Yankees' perspective, this is a classic now or never moment. If they truly believe Bellinger is a core piece who can help them chase championships over the next several seasons, this is the time to act. Waiting too long risks losing him to another team or watching his price rise even higher. If desperation sets in elsewhere, at the same time, overcommitting could create problems down the line. If his performance declines or injuries resurface, it is a delicate balance, and one that front offices lose sleep over every winter. What makes this situation different is the involvement of Aaron Judge. When your captain goes to bat for a player, it adds pressure that cannot be measured on a spreadsheet. Judge represents stability, leadership, and the long-term vision of the Yankees, and his endorsement of Bellinger suggests that he sees more than just numbers. He sees a teammate who fits the culture, elevates the team, and helps carry the weight of expectations that come with wearing pinstripes. That kind of internal support can sometimes be the final push that turns hesitation into action. For now, Bellinger appears content to wait. He is holding out for big money, confident that his recent performance justifies his demands. That patience means a deal is unlikely to come together quickly, and the off-season drama is far from over. But make no mistake, the longer this drags on, the louder Judge's voice becomes in the background. Whether the Yankees ultimately meet Bellinger's price or walk away will say a lot about their priorities, their risk tolerance, and how much influence their captain truly has. One thing is certain: this story is not just about contracts and statistics. It is about trust, leadership, and a superstar quarterbacking the future of his team from the outfield, pushing the front office toward a decision that could define the next era of Yankees baseball. If you're enjoying the updates, drop a like and let us know in the comments your thoughts on this rumor. The baseball world woke up buzzing, and when I say buzzing, I mean that low, electric hum that only happens when a rumor is so big it feels almost irresponsible to ignore it. Word started to circulate inside league circles, then quietly spilled into television hallways and front office whispers. And suddenly the phrase being repeated was the same everywhere. The Yankees might have just pulled off the kind of blockbuster that bends the balance of power. The name attached to it is one that instantly stops conversations, makes fans lean forward, and forces rival executives to double-check their phones. Julio Rodríguez. And yes, the speculation is that the Yankees have closed in on a massive trade that could shake the entire league to its core. Sources close to the situation describe a scenario that feels almost unreal. The kind of move people joke about in barbershops and comment sections, but rarely expect to see materialize. The Yankees, a franchise that thrives on audacity and history, are once again being linked to a generational talent who represents not just production on the field, but an identity shift. Julio Rodríguez is more than a star outfielder. He is a symbol of the modern game, a blend of power, speed, charisma, and global appeal. The idea that he could be pinstripe has already sent shockwaves through fan bases far beyond New York. What makes this rumor even more fascinating is the timing and the silence. No official confirmation, no carefully worded denials, just a growing sense that something enormous is happening behind closed doors. Executives around the league are said to be stunned, not because the Yankees are aggressive, but because of the sheer scale of what this trade would represent. Acquiring a player like Rodríguez is not just about filling a lineup spot. It is about redefining the present and future of a franchise. It is about planting a flag and saying, without saying it, that the Yankees are done waiting. Insiders suggest that the conversations were intense, complex, and layered with long-term implications. This was not a simple exchange of talent. It was a chess match involving elite prospects, financial considerations, and a willingness to take risks that only a handful of organizations would even contemplate. The Yankees, according to the rumor mill, were prepared to empty a significant portion of their farm system, knowing full well the criticism that would follow. But the belief inside the organization is said to be clear. Opportunities to acquire a player like Julio Rodríguez do not come around often, and when they do, hesitation can be fatal for fans. The emotional response has been immediate and intense. Social media timelines exploded with disbelief, excitement, skepticism, and pure imagination. People started picturing Rodríguez roaming the outfield at Yankee Stadium, launching towering home runs, stealing bases, and bringing an energy that feels perfectly suited to the Bronx spotlight. Even longtime skeptics admitted that if this rumor turns into reality, it could mark a turning point for the team's trajectory. The Yankees have always been associated with stars, but this feels different. This feels like a move designed to capture the next era, not just relive the past. From the league's perspective, the implications are staggering. Rival teams are reportedly scrambling to understand how such a deal could come together and what it means for competitive balance. There is a sense that if the Yankees truly manage to land Rodríguez, it sends a message that reverberates far beyond one roster. It tells everyone that no player is truly untouchable, that boldness still matters, and that the traditional powers are willing to evolve rather than fade quietly into nostalgia. There is also an undercurrent of drama surrounding the team. That would be giving up a star of this magnitude, trading away a player like Julio Rodríguez. Not just a baseball decision, it is a philosophical one. It signals a shift in direction, a recalibration of priorities, and an acceptance of short-term pain in exchange for long-term flexibility. According to whispers, the negotiations were emotionally charged, filled with internal debates and sleepless nights. Letting go of a cornerstone is never easy, especially one who has become the face of a franchise and a beacon for its fanbase. Yet, this is where the rumor takes on an even deeper layer. Some believe that the deal was not born out of desperation, but strategy. A belief that the return package offered by the Yankees was simply too overwhelming to ignore: elite young talent, cost-controlled players, and a chance to reshape the roster in a new image. In that context, the move becomes less about surrender and more about reinvention. Still, that does little to calm the emotional storm that would follow such a decision. For the Yankees, the potential arrival of Rodríguez would instantly change the conversation around the team. Lineup, construction, defensive alignments, marketing strategies, even clubhouse dynamics would all be impacted. He is the kind of player who commands attention without demanding it, who leads through performance and presence. Pairing him with the existing core would create a blend of experience and youth that feels intentionally designed to dominate both now and in the years ahead. There is also the financial angle, which cannot be ignored. A player of Rodríguez's caliber comes with expectations, both on the field and in terms of investment. The Yankees, however, are uniquely positioned to absorb that reality. In fact, some around the game believe that this is precisely why they were able to push this deal over the finish line. If the rumors are true, the willingness to commit, to spend, and to embrace the pressure that comes with it is woven into the DNA of the franchise. As the hours pass and the speculation grows louder, one thing becomes increasingly clear. Even if this deal somehow falls apart at the last moment, the mere existence of these rumors has already altered perceptions. It has reminded everyone that the Yankees are never content with incremental improvements. They aim for seismic shifts, and Julio Rodríguez represents exactly that kind of shift. A player who can redefine expectations, energize a fan base, and force the rest of the league to respond. Right now, fans are refreshing feeds, analysts are choosing words carefully, and front offices are watching closely. There is a feeling in the air that something historic may be unfolding, something that will be talked about for years, whether confirmed or denied. This rumor has already done its job. It has captured attention, sparked imagination, and reignited the sense that baseball, at its core, is still capable of jaw-dropping moments that leave everyone asking the same question in disbelief. Did the Yankees really just do this? Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you stay up to date with every Yankees rumor and news. See you in the next video.